being on the U.S. Navy veteran who's been arrested now for allegedly shooting an Indian immigrant engineer and wounding 2 others at a crowded sports bar. Adam Purinton, who's been accused of killing Srinivasan there, aged 32, also wounding his co-worker Alok. The accused here has been arrested in Missouri after he told a bartender that he shot 2 Middle Eastern men and needed a place to hide. A third man there, Grillot, was also shot when he actually tried to stop the gunman at the bar to stop him from shooting. Both of these identified Indian engineers here of working as engineers at the GPS maker at Garmin International in Olathe. The External Affairs Minister, Sushma Swaraj, here in India has condemned this shootout incident, taking to Twitter once again saying, "I am shocked at the shooting incident in Kansas in which Srinivasan has been killed. My heartfelt condolences to the bereaved family."
You know, I might defer to the district attorney as well, since at this point we are in a charging stage to really cover the rules.
You know, as far as the motivation of this case and the facts surrounding it, you got to remember we're less than 24 hours in. There are investigators currently going out and still interviewing people, and so what we want to do is we want to be able to be sure of our facts versus speculation. And so we're not prepared at this point to talk about the particular facts of the case because this is still very fresh. There's a lot of people working the street, and quite frankly, it would be unethical for me to go into a lot of details based on Kansas law to discuss those details.
All day, a heavy police presence in this typically quiet Olathe neighborhood is where neighbors say triple shooting suspect Adam Purinton has lived for almost 20 years.
I never seen him really get angry.
Richard Morris lives next door to Purinton. Morris says Purinton, a 51-year-old Navy veteran, lives alone in this 2-story house.
Just quiet and kind of reclusive. The last couple of years since his father died, you didn't see him much. He just kind of stayed by himself.
Another neighbor tells Fox 4 Purinton owned several guns and had a battle with alcohol. A look into Purinton's record reveals in 1999 and 2008, he received speeding tickets in Johnson County. A 1999 DUI ticket Purinton got, also in Johnson County, was dismissed. Back in Purinton's neighborhood today, several detectives knocked on doors, talked to neighbors, and showed many of them a picture of the man now charged with killing 1 person and shooting 2 others inside a popular restaurant and bar.
A little scared that it was so close to us, so close to home.
Olathe Northwest High School teacher Jennifer Wellborn lives about a block away from the murder suspect's house.
We go to Austin's, we have kids, we go, I mean, it's a family place, we enjoy it. You obviously never expect something like that to happen in your neighborhood.
Let's get in further updates. We have with us our Foreign Affairs editor, Geeta Mohan, getting us those details. Geeta, apart from a statement here, of course, which is essentially coming on our External Affairs Minister, Sushma Swaraj's Twitter handle, what has been the response from the Indian government on this and those assurances to the family? Okay, we're going to try to reconnect with Geeta on that in just a bit. But remember, of course, we're reading out that official statement that's coming from the External Affairs Minister, Sushma Swaraj, which is essentially, of course, on her Twitter handle saying that we can condemn this attack, have sent out assurances here to the grieving family. But the question here, of course, being asked as far as the fears post Donald Trump's presidentship there in the United States, this being a case of white supremacy there coming to the fore. This was expected for the manner in which the entire rhetoric has been seen in the past few months, for the manner in which he's been brought to power with those numbers there, of course, continuing to slam illegal immigrants, but whether or not those who've been taking Donald Trump's message here on ground, we're looking at the other extreme case, an unfortunate scenario where you have 2 Indians fallen victim to this case of white supremacy and also mistaken identity, ill-informed here. It's clear when you had the Navy veteran here tell the person at the bar that I have shot down 2 Middle Eastern men. I need a place to hide. It's also been a case of mistaken identity. He thought he was shooting down 2 Middle Eastern men. Unfortunately, these were of Indian citizenship. Foreign Affairs editor Geeta Mohan getting us those details here. Geeta, we're expecting more action here, of course, a far more stronger slamming word that needs to come in from the government of India, communicated to the US government here.
The Indian government and Indian authorities over here are in touch with the U.S. authorities, including the mission in touch with the U.S. authorities, with the CG now in Kansas. We have photographs of the CG in Houston and Consul General Joshi meeting with the Indian community, assuring them support and any kind of help that they require. The Consul General, also R.D. Joshi met with the injured Alok Madasani and is in touch with the family members. They are looking at the External Affairs Minister has already spoken to the father of Srinivas and in touch with the wife, looking at bringing back the mortal remains to India. This is a very sad day indeed, where the government of the United States of America will have to now take a call on how they're going to really act against and show zero tolerance towards such absolute intolerance being shown by members and citizens of the United States of America. He is a U.S. veteran. He went to another bar there and spoke about the fact that he'd attacked Middle Eastern men. In all probability, he served in the Middle East, that's West Asia,
Right.
and must have had his own notions regarding these people. But it is white supremacy and supremacist ideology that we are seeing out in the open. This is not the first time that Indians have suffered at the hands of white supremacists in the United States of America. There have been attacks in the past as well, but in the recent past, this certainly is one of the most dastardly ones, where one Indian has indeed lost his life and another injured, with an American also who was injured in this entire attack, who was trying to stop the culprit from going ahead on a killing spree. The fact of the matter is that the changing policies of the Trump administration are a worry for India.
That's
but
right.
does that give a certain powers, or for that matter, a push to these white supremacists to go ahead with the kind of killing and the kind of attacks that we've been talking about, and the rise in hate crime is something that should worry the Trump administration if the U.S. wants to continue with ties, diplomatic ties and relations with various countries, including India.
Stay on with us, Geeta. We're getting in political reactions here. A voice here that's coming in from the RJD, Mr. Manoj Jha. Let's take a listen in.
I think it should be strong. It should be treated as a very strong message to the world community, to the Indian community, that there are people even in India who celebrated Trump's victory. Look what Trump means. I think my government would take up steps which ensures the safety and security of our citizens living there in US, number one. Number two, we also need to build a kind of movement against xenophobia everywhere, anywhere. I think that is what is needed as of now. Otherwise, I think we lose the entire narrative of what we say the world community.
Geeta, of course, we're getting in several political reactions here in Indian political parties, of course, viewing this unfortunate incident. There's a united word of outrage here that we've heard from across the political spectrum. We're going to play out more reactions on this in just a bit while we reconnect there with our Foreign Affairs editor, Geeta Mohan. Could this also be seen there as a backlash to what really has been criticized across the board, that being Donald Trump's immigration ban? Does this really give a handle to white supremacy to act in this manner? Remember the words that were spoken out by this Navy veteran, who's of course now been arrested by the US police authorities there, saying, "Get out of my country." Also saying, telling the person at the bar there that he shot down 2 Middle Eastern men and he needs a place to hide. Could this also be the ugly fallout here of the rhetoric that has driven the immigration ban by the Donald Trump presidency?